and Lori's here. Okay, so it's 7:02, and I'd like to call the Townsend Housing Authority meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Natalie Call present.
Chaz Sexton Duranian present.
And Courtney Bradley. This meeting is being recorded live. And we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. That's
It is
I
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United
United
States
States of America and to the republic
Republic
for which it stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So any additions or deletions to the agenda? I don't have any right now. If anybody else has any.
I don't have any.
And state representative report.
I have two. I attended a state meeting last week, and there was a lot of information that was passed on in regards to housing in Massachusetts, and the governor's plea for the towns and communities to really delve into their housing needs and see what they can do to increase housing in the state. And I know that we can later on we can talk with Lori in regards to that issue as well. The second one, the second meeting that I had, and then I'll have another one, is I have an upcoming appointment with State Senator Cronin. Mr. Cronin and I are going to meet on Monday, and that's when I'm going to express the need for housing in Townsend and see what he can do to help me out as well. And then I'll report in our next meeting on how that is going to go. As far as anything else, we'll touch upon the other things that I have talked about with the agenda items. So that's all I got for today.
Okay. So we are waiting for Sheila at 7:30. And then Chaz, I don't know, we're going to run to the work session now. And I know you said you needed to jump out for a minute.
Yeah, I can. What I thought, Courtney, is you guys can talk about reorganization of the board. If you can talk with Lori to find out how she would want to help us out going forward, and if you guys can have that discussion, I can jump out and then jump back in. That's okay with you, Lori?
Yeah. I had, thanks for sending me the link, Chaz, because the only way I could get on was on my phone rather than on the computer. When you go to the town website, all you get is the copy of the posted agenda and not the actual agenda that members of the board get to just click on the blue link.
Right.
So I wish that could be done a little bit easier from the town website then, because it isn't like you can copy paste from copy.
The way that they've been posting them is when you click on the, if you go on the calendar and you click on that, it brings you to a page that has, you can click on a link to get to the agenda, but there should be a Zoom link on it.
When I click on the agenda, it is the posted copy of the agenda, and it is not
right
a
before
link
that.
that.
Before that.
Okay,
When
let
you
me try this again because I just did it.
okay, click on the calendar, and it brings you to a page, and that page should say click on for the agenda, and there should be another one that says Zoom link.
So I'm just looking at it now as well, and it's not there. It is on the other meeting that is tonight, which is the library one. There is a Zoom link to click on below, but there is not for our meeting.
All right.
Thank you.
I will look into that. Because there should be
the first time.
Oh yeah, I'm not questioning you at all. There should be a page before that that allows you to click on the Zoom link or click on the agenda.
No, I wish that was the case, but anyway,
Okay.
I'm on because you sent me the link.
Okay.
There
Did
was
I
no-
not send you the link, Lori? I thought I sent everybody the.
I didn't get it. What I got was
What
the
was that?
agenda and the minutes, but I'll go back to yours, Jody. I tried to look again, but I'm gonna do that now because I don't want to say things that aren't, correct. And I'm not the most tech savvy person, so, did you send it the same time you sent the minutes of April 28th? Let me see.
No, I think I sent it. I think I sent it either last Wednesday or last Thursday.
I don't have it. I didn't get it.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
like.
I didn't. So anyway, I'm here because of Chaz. So, okay. So I'm assuming you have a quorum because I don't see everybody like I usually see the gallery kind of thing on my phone.
Right.
So, is Natalie there as well as Chaz?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have on your agenda to discuss the volunteer forms for the vacancy?
We have reorganization of the board.
And we have 3.7 member vacancy volunteer form received.
Right,
Oh.
there you go. So yes, we do.
Okay, so then I am willing to come back on because the form is from me and nobody else was elected. I'm not sure why the position is not that popular, but I am willing to come back on and be vice chair to Courtney, and it's just a 1-year appointment.
I think that would be
So that would be appointed now until election in April.
Correct.
Madam Chair, I move that we nominate and approve Laura Schifrin as vice chair.
No,
Well, actually, I'll just say
appointed
as a
first.
member. Right. Appointed as a member of the Housing Authority, effective today until elections in April of 2022.
great. Do we have a second?
I second.
Good. Do we need to have a roll call vote on that one? Yes.
Yeah, we have to on everyone because we're virtual.
Perfect. Roll call, please.
Natalie Cole, yes.
Chaz Sexton
And
Duranian,
Courtney
yes.
Morelli, yes.
Pass.
And that, of course, is subject to the Board of Selectmen approving the appointment. If that is the case, and the board is accepting my participation, as of today, I support Courtney Borelli as chairman for the upcoming term year. Is there a second?
I'll second the if that was a nomination, I'll second that, yes.
We need to have a roll call vote on that.
Any discussion
Discussion?
first? I don't have
No.
anything.
No, it's not.
Okay. Chaz Sexton
Natalie Cole,
Duranian, yes?
And Courtney Morelli, yes.
There you go.
Seems weird to say yes
Yay!
It's
yourself.
always weird voting for yourself, I
Yeah.
know.
That's okay.
Okay.
I would suggest that my appointment as vice chair be subject to the vote of the Board of Selectmen to my appointment.
Okay.
For the,
In that instance, Madam Chair, I make a motion to appoint Laura Schifrin as the vice chair pending the decision of the Board of Selectmen in regards to her appointment, effective until April of 2022.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Right. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call vote.
Natalie Call, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Courtney Barella, yes. Okay, and then we have the clerk position.
We
I
have
would-
what was that?
Nothing. Can do it. Jazz? I would support a motion for Nat.
I will. I know. I'm sorry. I'm reading, and I've also got patients out here that are waving at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Hey, listen, they're not banging on the glass. I always feel like I'm in a fishbowl.
Is this better if I do this?
Yeah, right. Madam Chair, I make a motion to appoint Natalie Call as the clerk to the Housing Authority.
Can I second that one? Second.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Nope.
And a roll call vote, please.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Natalie Call, yes.
Courtney Barella, yes.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Just for the record, I support all of your motions. I'm just abstaining until the appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So wherever you want to go from here, Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you still okay to stay on for now?
Yep, I am.
Okay. I think we have Joan, right, with us now, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but 3.2 CBDG fuel assistance update. I believe that Joan was also working on that, correct?
No, Chaz put that on there.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Joan.
Hi, Joan.
I have a comment I'd like to make for Joan. The last time we met, I meant to mention this the last time that we met, either that day or the day before, I actually filled out a form for somebody who had applied for fuel assistance, but through Fitchburg, not through Townsend. And Joan, I'm not sure, of course, this has nothing to do with the Housing Authority, but certainly through the trust fund for what Joan is working on. So at some point we could have a conversation about that one. They had
Sure.
no idea that Townsend had any assistance.
Yeah, you have to start with Fitchburg first and max out on that or get rejected by them, and then you can come to our CDBG fuel assistance, which is actually probably a moot point at this point. However,
Why is that? Because it's, and
well, the heating oils, the heating season is over as of April 30. Even though Mr. Dara at COG said that they'd extend it till the end of May, he meant him, not the state, or or the grant people. And unless Chaz, you've got some kind of update on that, but and unless this grant goes for another whole year, the heating season would start again in November, and go, November of 2021. But I don't know. He's made the promise to keep working, keep the grant alive until all the money has been spent. So there's quite hundreds of thousands left for the home rehabs, and of course the entire fuel assistance, $26,250 still sitting there.
okay, so my comment to that is there are people who, and I'll look into that one couple that was started, because they had been trying for, I guess, a couple of months. This was their second go around. And the problem is that when, sometimes it takes so long to get the money that people have actually gone for months without paying their electric bill, or with some people who have electric heat, or their gas bill, whatever their heating source is. because the program or the time frame ends of the heating season doesn't mean that all of those bills have been paid.
Correct. And I would suggest anyone who's looking forward to heating season November of 2021, start the application process now.
I don't know that they can do that because it has to be your current income. It has, there's so much current data that has to be done. Like they said to me when I was filling out what I could for them, that none of what they filled out before counted for now.
Right.
So, I know that they need updated data, just like any other kind of grant or loan. They need to know your position within like a 30-day period.
Right. I would suggest anybody get in the queue. They will be told by Fitchburg that they're way too early. They can establish get a name of somebody in Fitchburg, get a direct connection, establish a relationship with them. And then when it's time to strike, they'll, boom, they can go instead of waiting. So they're first in line when things do open up. That would be my recommendation, to establish a relationship with somebody.
There are two issues going on here, and I'm saying this as a state rep to the Housing Authority. There is additional funds being released by the governor for those past due utility bills. I don't have any specifics on it. It's something that they have been talking about for the past 3 weeks, and it's something that is part of my conversation with State Senator Cronin. But there is additional funding for those past due utility bills. And that could be electric, that could be heat, that could be pellets for your pellet stove. It could be a lot of other different things. But I need to investigate that further to find out how that works in with what is the current fuel assistance. That's number one. Now, there are other things in regards to the CBDG that I can't report here because I have not reported back to the Board of Selectmen. But I will say that anybody who has a letter that has been, Joan, what is the terminology when they have been rejected?
Basically, it's just the letter would state that you did not qualify for, X reason. And, that's all we need is a letter saying they do not qualify or they've maxed out.
Right. So if there are people that do have that letter to do that, they will be able to access those funds. That's what I'm hearing but I have not been able to contact the person directly to get verification on that. So I agree with you, Joan, that, this is very unfortunate of the time that's gone by and there has been little to no action in regards to this. But to actually, I would say if you have a rejection letter or you have been rejected, then that does not mean that you are not eligible for those funds.
Right. And then also remember the new ERAP money that's out. People can apply for that through the Central Mass Housing Alliance, and that will pay up, I believe, up to $1,500 in past due utility bills. So people can jump right on that.
Right. So how would the Housing Authority and the Housing Trust be able to work this together, Joan, to get that information out? How would you suggest getting that done?
Well, you have to make sure it's on the town website. And I suggest that we do like we did last time. We do our own PSA push and put flyers out around, and I post on Nextdoor.
Okay. Would you be able to get a flyer together, and then I can definitely post that myself on the town website.
Sure.
I can also get it posted to the social media as
Sure.
long as the chair approves it.
Absolutely.
In reference to the town website, can we just put, rather than even a big long flyer, just put a bullet that says fuel assistance, step 1, you call this agency and number first, second step, third step. So in other words, it doesn't have to be a whole long thing. If somebody is looking for fuel assistance, doesn't have to have a whole long sentence, fuel assistance, and then what their steps are, just the place and the phone number. We don't have to get into any more detail than that. They
And
need,
I,
they,
and I agree with you, and we should also put it on Channel 9 too, on that posting board
oh,
as well.
definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yep.
Are we streaming or are we being recorded tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be up. All right.
Yep. And then there's a posting, Joan, I haven't really looked at the procedure. If you could look into that for me, on what we need to do to get something on TCAM. They have that electronic board that they flash in between the when they show videos.
Okay,
Whatever
I'll do
we,
that.
yeah, whatever we need, we can actually, if it's something that they can do line by line, they can put it on there. Fuel
Sure.
assistance, call this, blah, 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 and we can
Sure.
get it. Okay.
Happy to do it.
Okay. And then I'll be reporting on that to the Board of Selectmen, Joan, and I'll let you know when that is.
Got it, thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else further on that? Okay. 3.3 annual town meeting update with a 3.2.1 report about warrant article.
So the good news is the town approved the reallocation of funds, so that we can take the 35,000 that was for the feasibility study, and we can use that towards getting our housing production plan written. So however, Madam Chair, you want to go about with the discussion from there.
So I think it makes sense for us to contact the companies that got the proposals from before, make sure they're obviously still interested, and if they want to relook at the proposal and get a new one over to us that is a current proposal and dated, and then we can go from there. I think the question is, do we want the same three, or do we want to add anyone to the list? I think we were pretty happy with what we got last time.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about that.
No, I say contact the ones that we had contacted before and say that we have now approved funding, and we'd like to, I mean, we're not going to tell them how much we got, but
Yep.
and
Yep.
go from there.
So I know last time we did have a preferred kind of person. Do we still need to kind of reach out to three to make sure we're getting
would.
what we? Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I would.
So I can go ahead and do that since I was contacting them last time.
So I'll make a motion to allow Courtney to go ahead and resubmit the criteria for our housing production plan.
Is this gonna be like an RFP? Do we have to go through all of the procurement steps? Because it's a contract over a certain amount of money though?
It probably does need to be updated.
I'm just thinking, that procurement law is a little bit tricky. I don't know if you want me to check and just make sure we follow the rules.
Yeah.
There's just certain
Of course.
procedures you're supposed to follow when it's over a certain amount of money and you're in a contract.
Right.
Does anybody remember how much that dollar amount is?
I think it's 10,000.
Okay.
I thought it was 5. So we're over.
Yeah.
We need
Yes.
to do it. And that doesn't hurt either, because that, I mean, I think that's almost a year old or more.
Yep.
So let me look into the procurement and see if we can get that started. So we're all posted up and then we can really move forward.
Right. That would be good.
Okay.
Now that we get the okay for money, then you guys can have at it.
Once Jody looks into that and we get that process going, do we need to come back and do another vote, or can we do anything today to kind of keep us moving?
I think we have to follow the procurement process, and then
Yeah.
we'll have to, once we we have those bids come in, then we have to vote on which one that we want for the bids before we can move forward. So
Okay, but we can vote today on me moving ahead, after we do the proper process, moving ahead with getting those quotes. Okay,
absolutely, absolutely. The motion that I just put out will allow you to go ahead and do all of that stuff, as
Perfect.
long as Natalie seconds it.
I second the motion.
Great.
Sorry, it's been a long week.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Natalie Cole, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
And Courtney Brella, yes.
Good.
Yes.
So Jody, you and I can get back together on that one.
Okay, that's good. I guess we can do the trust to trust transfer if you want to touch upon that, Madam Chair.
Yep, 3.4 Dudley Road charitable trust to trust transfer.
With the board's permission, I can ask town council what our next steps will be to be able to do that, to move forward with it. Whatever we do, it's probably going to end up having to go in front of the town anyway for a town vote. But I'd like to be able to at least get started on it and start working with town council to be able to submit the paperwork so that we can get that going. The process usually is 9, 10, 12 months. So the sooner I can start working on it with town council, the sooner we'll be able to be prepared for the next town meeting.
I think that sounds great. Does that, I know we're gonna get to it in 3.5, but does that change anything with this land swap idea, or should we be kind of getting started on this either way, since it is such a process and we can understand what that means for a land swap later down the road?
Well, this falls into the chicken and the egg kind of argument. The whole idea to this land trust is, or this land swap, or the trust itself, trust to trust transfer, is to actually get this land into the affordable housing trust so that we don't have to go completely going to town vote every time we need to do something. So if we're able to get the transfer done without having to go to town vote, then we can move forward, do the trust to trust, and then we can use the affordable land trust to be able to make the next steps as opposed to going to town.
Okay.
If we have to get town vote, we'll have that all done, get town vote, and then it goes into the trust, and then we're able to be able to do what we need to do from there. Hi, Sheila.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Um,
Sort of see Natalie, but faded. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Good. We're talking
Yeah.
about doing the land swap, or the trust to trust transfer.
Okay.
Taking the current land out of the trust and putting it into our affordable housing trust.
Yep.
I have asked the board permission to be able to approach town council to start that process,
Okay.
to be able to do that. And it does that answer your question, Courtney? It's kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Wanted to, yep.
The whole idea behind it is to be able to have that land into the affordable housing trust so that the affordable housing trust then are the controllers of what happens next.
Yep.
All right. So if we look into, and this, I'm glad Sheila's on, because this then dovetails into what I wanted to talk with Sheila about. If we are looking to do a land trust or a land swap with the land across the street, it would be the Affordable Housing Trust working with the state, as opposed to us having to go through the whole process of town vote and all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay.
Does that
So
make
the also, Chaz, would be, I believe, when the housing authority has a project to recommend. Okay, because this may not just be this particular property, but in the future may be other town-owned properties.
Mhm.
Where, and I'm still waiting for some information, but where properties that are owned by the town are looked at by the Town Properties Committee, who will then make recommendations to other boards. Whether it's, oh, this sounds good, this would be good for the Housing Authority to look at for a project. So then that land may be recommended to be transferred to the trust fund from the town.
Mhm.
So the first process is the trust will hold all the assets eventually, but it'll be the Housing Authority that will make recommendations for the use of the assets of the fund.
So
And then
I'm
the
sorry,
fund-
do you mean the Affordable Housing Trust will hold all the property or
Yes, the
affordable
trust,
housing?
that the trust itself will have ownership of the assets. However, the recommendations for the use of the assets of the trust will come from the Housing Authority and then approved by the Board of Selectmen.
Correct.
We don't know the exact logistics yet of the full authority of the trust and what will need to go before the town.
So that's actually kind of a tricky thing though. So this Groton just faced something similar with this dichotomy. They're like, oh, there's not enough cross-pollination between the Housing Authority, the trust, and they have this diversity task force as well. And I said, no, I think there is cross-pollination, but it's the autonomy to move. Like, and I don't know. I'd have to look at the Affordable Housing Trust language better, but I'm not 100% sure that the Affordable Housing Trust has to act with the Housing Authority getting permission from the town. I don't know that it,
Yeah, that.
I don't know that the ability to do, partly because of this, like if the Affordable Housing Trust wants to start to stake out certain areas of possibility affordable housing projects, do you want it to be completely dependent upon the town to say okay for that?
No, we don't.
No.
No,
So,
we don't.
so I want to, because that was a glitch in the Groton language. And I feel like we need to like make sure that there's more autonomy so that they can strike while the iron's hot.
I think that's what Chaz had asked for when we established the trust. Chaz?
I wrote it. So,
Right.
and I tried to give them as much that when there was an opportunity that they're able to go in there and take do that.
advantage of it.
Yeah. What I
Okay.
can do, Sheila, I can send you the trust agreement.
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at it tomorrow then, make sure because I think that's obviously, and you do too, I think that's a bad policy to set.
Talked about that. Hopefully you'll find that it is covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our goal is to be able to work with town properties, and be able to be approached by town properties and say, we have these properties available. Is the Housing Authority interested in it? We then
Yeah.
can look at it and see, is it something that the Housing Authority can develop or whatever? If we feel that it is, then we'll recommend it to the trust to be able to take the property over so that we then
Right.
can make the arrangements to get it,
Right.
Yeah,
no, hopefully it's written, Groton's was not, so that's why I'm concerned. I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think
They actually had to have a town meeting vote to enable them to start the process on the Affordable Housing Trust.
I'm
To do site review.
before, when we were establishing this, when Chaz had first brought it up it took months, say about a year ago. And you had mentioned that. So I think that's why it was looked at.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll just take a second look at it then.
Right. So then and this goes into Courtney's question too. If what should happen first? Should we ask for the Dudley Road land to go into or do a trust to trust transfer before the land swap or the land swap? I think it doesn't really matter, does it?
No. Well, only just that as soon as you establish authority over it, where you've removed it from the town, I think the better off you are. So if the land swap still involves like town approval in any way, shape, or form, and you can put it in the Affordable Housing Trust and then kind of have more control over it, that might be the way to go before you do the land swap.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I just
Yeah,
don't want
sure.
to, anything I can take it out of the general, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but
Yep.
once you get it, that you've sort of handed off any of the control of the process, you muddy the waters.
Agreed. So when you look at that, Sheila, you'll be able to, we're good to
Yeah.
go. Okay,
Yeah. And normally a land swap is pretty clean. I just want to make sure you don't have a situation where the town can exercise authority in a land swap here.
okay.
Right. And that's why I'm like,
I don't have anything against the town, by the way, but just to make things run more smoothly, to make it run more smoothly is what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess to
um,
get back to our original thing then, we need a motion to have Chaz approach the town council about the Dudley Road charitable trust to trust transfer.
I make a motion for Chaz to approach the town council in regards to the land swap or the land
the trust to trust transfer.
trust to trust transfer. I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Natalie Cole, yes.
Chaz Sexton
And
Duranian,
Gordon Burley,
yes.
yes. Any more discussion on that?
Okay. So I will go ahead and do that. And Jody, if you can put me on the next agenda for to talk about that. I think, Jody, we have council meetings are it's the last Tuesday or Thursday at the end of the month. Do you remember? Open town council.
I feel like they used to be on Tuesdays, but yeah, I don't remember the timing of it. We haven't gotten a notice in a while. I don't know if he's been there or not.
Okay. I'll try to get to talk to him as soon as I can for that. I think I have to do it in open session in his open thing, but if not, I'll get it done before the next meeting.
Was there anything else you had want to talk to Sheila about while she was here, or can I just keep rolling?
Keep rolling either way.
Were you asking me?
Just checking with everybody. Yep.
Okay.
I can keep going. So 3.6 tenant seat process update.
Lori, do you remember how we ended that, the tenant seat?
Oh, the tenancy.
Yeah.
Well, the last contact that I had was with Karen, and I didn't want to bother her,
Yeah.
Before this meeting, since she's got obviously a heavy heart right now.
Yeah.
So she was going to try to find out from those who come into the senior center if there was anybody from Atwood or Townsend Woods that would like to be active in the housing authority. So I have not, Turnpike Village, I got nothing in response to that. And those owners had put up the poster that I sent them in the buildings that they had. So why don't we just put it on the next meeting agenda? Just keep it on the agenda until we have it filled. But I want to give it a couple weeks before I ask her again. That's okay with you?
Okay. Natalie, do you still volunteer over there?
Well, you only go by appointment now. You have to RSVP for any activities. So they're not fully opened yet. So no, I haven't, I'm on the COA now. So I was there for the last COA meeting that we had a couple weeks ago. So like I said, I haven't I haven't been over there since, because they're not doing volunteers really in that respect.
Yeah, and that's going to be changing in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
as
so I'll go back to the
as
volunteering.
Sheila and I have been bombarded with email after email about the opening up and
Of how we're
budget.
gonna lengthen
Oh
the
lordy.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
I
figure it out.
the emails I'm getting about the budget, I can just imagine what your email box looks like.
You can't, oh, I don't know. But I do say, not that it affects this committee, but one of my amendments that did get allowed was to get more money for the TEO, so that they want to seek to do a more mobile unit, so that they can get a van that can literally go around to people and provide, food and necessities. So I got half of it, and I got John Cronin to sponsor the other half of it in the Senate. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and say our prayers next week that Townsend will get the full amount that they need to have that kind of
That's
access. That would be
awesome.
good.
That would be
That is
great.
awesome.
That would be great.
I'm
Yeah.
actually meeting with him on Monday.
Oh, good.
Mr. Cronin, yeah.
Yep.
There is there was something else I wanted to say and I forgot now. So it's
Okay.
been a long day for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, you and I need to talk about the PFAS thing.
Yes.
We can do
Yeah.
that tomorrow morning or something, if that works for you too. Well,
Sure.
I don't know what you schedule. I'm
Or
around
we
all
can
week.
stick around afterwards and talk about it real
Okay.
quick if you want
Okay.
to.
What do those initials stand for?
It's a chemical that's in the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
eating the other night, the water.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the numbers exactly are in Townsend. But there is some grant money to mitigate it if you have that issue.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
it seems to be taking over every community.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It is becoming a problem.
really? How did that start?
I don't know,
What
it
do you- what do
started
you-
like over a year ago. I started hearing rumblings of it, but it's really geared itself up in
2018 is when it started, and then
Yeah.
it seems to be, but
Last
the state of Massachusetts has their, as usual, the standards or the testing standards are a lot higher than anybody
okay.
else. So federally it's at one level, but Massachusetts it's at a different level.
But
So
I mean, I don't know what the testing has ended up yet in Townsend, but I think in Groton, it all came in lower than the, like the threshold that was problematic.
yeah, and we're in a low threshold, but it's
Right.
notifying the public of what
Right.
it is, and
Right.
the testing standards are you get tested once, and if there is any kind of reading for it, you then have to go on a testing schedule, and that's what we don't even have. Technically, we don't have a reading because the first one is just an indication, and then the first reading went out 2-3 days ago, so there's nothing
Nothing yet.
really, yeah.
But
But
there
we're
is
taking
money-
a proactive.
Yeah,
taking a
yeah, there is
proactive
money
to-
from public health to start to mitigate it if you have the issue.
Yep. So sorry, Courtney, we went off on the.
For some reason, I keep getting this. I keep hitting this. I don't think you can see it. For some reason, I keep getting this force quit thing to come over my screen. So I don't think you can see it. I'm hoping not. It keeps
No,
coming
we-
up on me.
No,
Okay.
Okay. 3.7 member vacancy volunteer form received. We actually spoke about this earlier. If nobody has anything else, I'll keep going.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay.
3.8 correspondence and clerk's announcements. Did we get any correspondence, Jody? I don't think I saw anything come through, right?
No, it was just from our meeting last week. I think it was the budget, which
Yep.
was nothing, and I think that was basically it. And I've checked, there's been nothing, so that's what I'm sticking with.
And on the budget, you're saying that we didn't spend It's sideways on my screen. Sorry. Trying to read it. You're saying we didn't have anything to approve this month? Oh yeah,
No.
it's in there. Okay. So we have no
Um,
action needed on that right now.
And then I sent you guys the volunteer response forms. I'm just looking through my packet from last week. Up, up, up. And then there was also the MHP Housing Institute in June. That's coming up.
Yep.
Did you all get that email I sent out per Chaz?
Yes.
I can resend it if you need me to.
Yeah, that's the Housing Institute, Natalie, that you had went to when you first started. You remember
Oh,
that?
I do, yeah,
Over at Devon's.
I do, yeah.
It's a full day. You can pick. They have like 4 or 5 different things
Okay.
that are in there. Courtney, if you could make it, that would be good. If you could make it to at
What's
least
the
one of
date? I'm
them.
sorry.
The 3rd, the 10th.
Oh,
and the
oh.
11th.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I can make any of those. All right.
And we have money in the
Okay.
budget for that.
Oh, Jody, no.
Is that in person or on Zoom?
Okay.
Zoom.
All right.
There's one, I don't have it in front of me, but there was one that talked about the interplay between the Housing Authority and the Housing Trust, I think would
Oh, yeah.
be a good one to look
Yeah.
into.
Okay.
Do you typically, when you go to these, it looks like there's like 3 sessions on one day, and so you're typically going for a whole kind of the 3 sessions or an individual one?
Well, I don't know virtually how it worked, but in person, we would go in the morning, there would be a keynote speaker, and then we would go to one class type thing. So one of them, and we'd have lunch, and then we'd go back and it was the same. We had another keynote speaker, we'd go to a session, talk to another person, then go to the last session. So I think it's, you pay the one fee and it's for
Okay,
all
okay.
of them.
Yep.
As you can imagine, weekdays for me are a little tough. If I could do a single one, I
Yeah.
could probably do it. Let me see what I could do though, around that, because it is, essentially 1 to 4:30.
Yeah.
On each of those.
Right. I used to take a vacation day to do it, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we have appointments coming up in on the June 8th. So if you could try to Jody, if you could send an email to Jim and copy me on it to put Lori's appointment on the June 8th agenda. And I think that's all I have for correspondence.
3.9, approved meeting minutes. So I know we have one from 4/1, and I believe Jody, you also sent us one from the joint meeting that was with the Housing Trust, correct? 5/13. I know that's the agenda. Just 4/1.
Yes, April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for Thursday, April 1st, 2021.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Courtney Brella, yes.
Okay.
And then next meeting, when do you guys want to meet?
Do you want to meet?
Oh, I did send out those 4/28 meeting minutes too. Did you guys get those?
Yep.
That's the joint meeting. So the 4/1. You don't have to approve them. If you didn't have a chance to read them, I just sent them the other day. Not a big deal.
Okay.
I just had it on my list.
I have an okay for that too. Did you read them, Nat?
I did. I make a motion, we approve the minutes from 4/28/2021. So,
And I second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Anyone
Natalie?
else?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, another plan. Sorry, I had some, okay. Yeah. I agree. Yes, I vote yes. Sorry.
Okay. And that would be
I've got-
Natalie Call that said yes.
I'm sorry. It's got a lot on my mind lately. So sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. Not a problem.
I'm post commander and there's a lot of things. So can I s-
Yeah.
all right, I'm taking it off. God.
Okay, Courtney,
Sorry.
So those are approved. Also, I had talked with Jody earlier, and we're going to set aside some time, if that's okay with you, Madam Chair, to get the website up to date. So we've got minutes and agendas and all that kind of stuff to post, and the town website had changed over. And there was some tweaks that needed to be done, and I've been working on that. And then Jody and I will get that up to snuff. But with our conversation today, we thought that if you could take a look at that website and look at what changes you would like or that you feel is necessary, and then we can all discuss it as the board, and then I can help Jody make those changes.
we can put that on the next meeting agenda to have that discussion about the website.
Okay.
Can I just mention, Mayor, that Town Properties will be looking to yearly appointments. So the Board of Selectmen making appointments in June. So anybody who's interested in serving on the Town Properties Committee, get their forms in.
Yeah, there's a lot of open positions available, and we've actually been getting a fair amount of people interested, so that's a good thing.
Okay, so our next meeting, I suspect we'll want to review the HPP proposals, but I think by the time maybe me and Jody figure out how to get us updated, and then we give them some time to actually update them, the companies. I'm guessing it'll be we want to give them at least a couple of weeks to do that. So we could maybe do 17th or the 24th. I'm not quite sure if we'll have them in by then, but we can try.
I'm free on the 24th.
Of June, right? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
All right.
That's good for me.
That's good for me. June 24th.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
7 o'clock.
Partly, if you're on, we will we will send you an email about the June 24th at 7 p.m. Yes, TK.
Okay.
Thank you, Hartley, for your extra notification to me.
Okay.
I wanted to thank you for sending the special notification to me for tonight, too. Thank you. Thank
Is there any way for you to send it to me and CC Jody? That would be great. Yep. Okay.
And I won't forget you next time, Lori, because I did check and you were not on there. I don't know why. My email said, do you want Lori? And I didn't click it. I don't know why. Sorry.
All right, I wasn't entitled. That's okay.
All right. I make a motion to adjourn.
And I second that.
All right.
Great.
All right.
Roll call vote.
Natalie Call, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
All right.
And Courtney Umbrella, yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.